Oh, hello. Welcome everybody to yoga today. I'm Annalisa. Welcome to my little living room studio. Um, Make sure that you've got someplace comfortable that you can do this class. You might like to have a folded blanket or a cushion that you can sit on for some of the seated stuff, and it's good to have around for cushioning or just any blanket or cushion related needs as we go through the class. So make yourself comfortable. You can start out seated in a cross-legged position, or you can extend one leg, you can extend both legs, find what feels good. You can also start out on your back or on your side even. So find what feels comfortable for you at this moment. And then let's either close our eyes or take a downward gaze as we start to become more aware of ourselves, our surroundings, and just this moment in time. So just with the downward gaze or the eyes closed, just start to check in with yourself. You might even like to put one hand over your heart and one hand over your stomach to just really get a sense of yourself today. You don't have to change the breath in any way. Just breathe and give the body a scan from head to toe, and then from toe to head, just kind of noticing where you're at. Noticing how you feel and how you might like to feel. If you've got your hands on your chest and belly, begin to notice the warmth of the contact. And then start to lengthen the inhales and exhales a little bit more. And notice the feeling under your hands. If it's uncomfortable at all to have your hands still on your front, feel free to take them away and just notice the feeling of the expansion and contraction. You don't have to force anything. Just breathe. I'm going to take my hands away and just put my hands down on my legs. You are free to do the same. And maybe see if you can lengthen a little bit more. Maybe it's a little bit easier with the hands away. And maybe one more long, slow, deep breath in. And one long, slow, deep breath out. Maybe exhaling a little bit more, maybe a little bit more. And then let the breath come in, and then let the breath just return to a natural breathing pattern, whatever that might be. Now let's start to relax any tense bits of the body. So let the shoulders soften, maybe just give them a little bit of a movement. Nothing fancy, just move them and let them maybe hang a little bit looser than they were a moment ago. Let the head turn gently from side to side and then return back to center. And take your awareness to your facial muscles and see if you can let your brow and forehead grow smooth. Maybe let the eyes relax. Feel tension drain away from around the nose, the cheeks, the ears. And maybe you even need to scrunch them up a little bit first, just to kind of get a sense of how they're feeling, and then unscrunch and just let it be. And then come down to the jaw, open up the mouth and move the jaw up and down slightly and maybe a little bit side to side. And then let that movement come to a close. And then keeping the teeth slightly apart, you can let the lips come together. So there's a little space in the jaw. And then let that relaxation just flow down the rest of your body, down into your arms, checking in with your hands, maybe moving your fingers around just a little bit, and then placing the hands back wherever they had been or to a new place. And then down the spine, checking in with the spine, with the belly. Maybe see if you can just let the belly relax. Sometimes we keep it tight in. What happens if you just let the belly relax? And then let that feeling of relaxation move down the legs, all the way down to the feet. And wherever the feet are, maybe just, can you wiggle the toes a little bit? Just let any last little bit just wiggle out through the toes. And then just observe this feeling of relaxation. Now take your awareness to where your body is contacting the floor. Feel the point or points of contact and just feel the support that's there for you. And start to move into the senses. Perhaps sensing the air moving around on your skin, on your clothes. Feel where the clothes touch your skin. Notice any sounds around you. Notice any scents around you. Your eyes might be closed, but can you notice what you can see on the sort of shade of your eyelids? Maybe you see some light moving around. Maybe you don't see anything, and that's okay. Just notice. Notice everything outside around you. And then take your awareness within. What can you notice within? And then take that awareness into your mind and just become aware of any thoughts, feelings, or emotions that might show up. And just acknowledge them and let them be. Sometimes our thoughts will take center stage, even if we're not really aware of it. But when you can be aware, just acknowledge and just let it be like a cloud in the sky, or imagine just setting it on a river and letting it float downstream. And so also in this moment, can you just allow this present moment to be just as it is? And can you allow yourself to be just as you are, just at this moment? Every moment is another chance to become present. So if at any time during this class you find yourself sort of elsewhere, maybe you're thinking too hard, you can always come back to the breath, come back to the point of contact with the ground. Notice whatever feelings you might have, sensory feelings like the clothes on your skin or how the muscles might feel at any point in time. Again, let the thoughts or emotions just be, and then come back into the present moment. So let's all take 3 deep breaths together. In and out. Inhale and exhale. And once more, in and out. And then let your eyes open or take your gaze to center. And if you're sitting up and you've got something underneath you, move it out of the side, out from underneath you. And let's join anyone who might be on the floor and slowly roll yourself down onto your back. And then raise your arms up over your head and reach the fingertips to the wall behind you and the soles of the feet to the wall in front of you. Just kind of finding some length here, wriggling, reaching to the opposite walls, moving a little bit from side to side, maybe just finding what feels good. And then let your arms come back down by your sides and bend your legs. Bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. Then raise the feet up off the floor and bring the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Begin to point and flex your feet and toes. Just warming the legs up. Taking the legs in a inverted position. And take your toes in a circle on the ceiling now. Taking your ankles through a full range of motion. And then go the other way. Give a little shake out. Begin to bend and straighten the legs at the knees. And move slowly here, just starting to bring some warmth into the knees, into the legs. Maybe starting to feel your core engage. And then make some bicycling movements. You can keep the knees closer in, or maybe see what happens if you widen. Take a little wider pedaling. And then go the other way. Again, maybe playing with where the knees are. Just getting some different movements in. And then just pedal those feet down to the floor, keeping the knees bent. And take the feet a little bit wider than hip width and start to move one knee inward and down towards the mat. And then raise that knee up. And then take the other knee and leg inward and down. And start to move from side to side. Just starting to Try some different movements, waking up the lower body. Breathing, moving at your own pace. As always, throughout this class, move at your own pace. Listen to your own body. If I suggest something that does not feel right or you know is not right for your body, please don't do it. You could try it and just stay away from the point of pain, or just don't do it if it doesn't feel right. Everything that I say is just a suggestion, just getting you to move and breathe, coming into that present moment a little bit more. All right, bringing that movement to a close, bringing the feet closer in. Raise your right foot up off the floor. Make a few circles with your knee in the air, kind of off to the side. Making the circles as big or as small as you like. The knee is making the circle, but the movement is coming from the hip. So we're taking that hip through a full range of motion. Go one way and then switch directions. And then next time that ankle comes across, let the ankle cross over the left thigh just above the knee and raise the foot off the floor. This might be as much as you'd like to do, but then maybe take the knee a little bit closer towards the body. We're just going to keep the arms out of it for this right here, making this a little bit more active. And then bring the foot down, bring the other foot down. Just take a little pause or you can do a little hip shimmy if you like. And then raise your left foot and start to make some circles on this other side with the knee, bringing the movement from the hip. And then go the other way. And the next time that ankle comes around, let it cross over the right thigh just above the knee. This might be just where you want to stay, or maybe you raise the foot off the floor, kind of stacking the right knee over the right hip. This might be enough, or maybe allow the right knee to come a little bit closer towards the torso. And then let the foot come down, let the other foot come down. And bring your arms out to shoulder height, then bend your elbows so your fingertips point towards the ceiling, and then allow the back of the hand to come down to the floor. So your arms are in sort of a cactus position or a goalpost position, and raise those feet off the floor again. Inhale and exhale. Let your knees drop over to one side, coming into a little twist. Inhale, let the knees come back to center. Exhale, go over to the other side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, go to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the second side. And then roll back onto your back. Keep the knees where they are, bringing them maybe a little closer towards the chest. Curl your forehead in towards your knees, curling up into a tight ball, either holding on to the shins with your hands or wrapping the arms around. And maybe rock a little bit from side to side, giving a little massage for the mid-back. You could maybe even make a little sort of circular motion, if that makes sense. Just move around. And if it feels okay on your back, see if you can create a little forward and back movement. But if it's too hard underneath your spine, then you don't want to cause any pain there, and it could feel quite uncomfortable. Go ahead and rock or roll or press yourself up to a seated position. And if it felt comfortable before, you might like to bring that blanket or cushion just to find a little height. And take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Take a breath or two here. And then come to center and left ear to left shoulder. And breathe. Bring your head back to center and take your chin towards your chest, towards your collarbone. Start to feel maybe some length in the back of the neck. Breathe. And then come back to center gently and turn your head from side to side, slowly. And then gaze comes back to center and lift your right arm in the air and lean over to the left. And then come back to center and lean over to the right now. And move from side to side here. Just starting to warm up the side body. Moving at your own pace, breathing however feels good. And then coming back to center and bringing your hands in front of you and interlacing the fingers, just kind of clasping the hands together, and keep the elbows down. And then turn, keeping your hips and everything on the your lower body on the floor, turn towards the right. So you're going to twist and breathe here. Coming back to center, and then twist to the left. See if you can keep your neck and shoulders soft. Come back to center, and now twist to the right again. Inhale and exhale. Come back to center, and then twist towards the left. Inhale and exhale. Come back to center. Twist towards the right again. Inhale and exhale. And then unlace your fingers and taking your left arm and reaching it a little bit more towards the right. And then bring the hands back together and come back to center. Interlace your fingers the other direction. And then twist towards the left. Shoulders, neck relaxed. Inhale and exhale. And then unlace the fingers, reach that right arm out towards the left, increasing the twist and the stretch a little bit more. Then bring the hands back together, unwind. Come back to center. Release the hands down, and then raise your right arm up again and lean to the left. Come back to center, and then lean over to the right. And once more, either side. Does this feel any different than the first time we went side to side? And then come back to center and take your right ear over to the right shoulder. Come back to center, left ear to left shoulder. Come back to center, chin down towards the chest again. Take a breath or two here. And if you like, you might start to move a little bit, starting to make a tiny semicircle. Starting to feel some more of the back and side of the neck. Start to move, start to lengthen. And then bringing your head, the chin back down to the center of the chest, or the top center of the chest, and bring the gaze back up. Inhale, open the arms out wide, and exhale, bring your left arm across and hold with the right. And turn your head gently from side to side. Take a nice deep breath here. And then inhale, open the arms out wide, and then let the right arm come across and hold with the left. Turn the head from side to side. And come back to center, open the arms out wide. Inhale, exhale, bring the tips of the fingers to the tops of the shoulders. Let's make some circles with the elbows. Thinking about the shoulders, bringing your awareness into the shoulders. And can you even feel the shoulder blades on the back? And go the other direction. Breathing as you move. And then inhale, open the arms out wide. Exhale, give yourself a hug. Turn the elbows from side to side. And then inhale, open the arms out wide. And exhale, cross the arms the other way. Give yourself another little hug. Maybe give yourself even a little pat on the back for showing up. And bring the arms out wide. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling. And feel as if the fingertips reach out towards well, you might not have walls on either side, but reach your fingertips out and away from each other. And can you give a little head movement just to let the neck release any tension? And then can you take the thumbs, point them a little bit further back behind you? And then let those arms come down and then just roll the shoulders, perhaps alternating them, perhaps moving them together. And then go the other direction. And then move anything out from underneath you. And let's come to table position. Coming to hands and knees, with the knees beneath the hips and the wrists and hands beneath the shoulders. And so you've got some space in between the hands and the knees, in between each hand and each. Yes, there's space all around, hopefully. And then inhale, let the belly drop down, the chin lifts, the tailbone lifts. And then exhale, let the spine round towards the ceiling, the chin tucks in, the tailbone tucks slightly. Inhale, belly drops down. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. And move through this cat and dog movement a few times at your own pace. Breathing however feels right to you. I suggested a breath, but if you start to move a little quicker and you want to breathe at your own pace, go for it. Come back to center, to sort of a neutral flat back, and then curve your body to one side as if you were looking back past your hip at your feet. And then come back to center, and then curve towards the other side. Back to center, and then move side to side like this at your own pace, exploring that side to side movement again. And then coming back to center, round the spine up towards the ceiling, press the ribs over to one side, let the belly drop down, and press your ribs towards the other side. So you see you start to move in sort of a cylindrical fashion. And see if you can join those points together a little bit more. And imagine yourself inside a jar, scraping the inside of the jar, getting out your favorite butter or cream or whatever out of the jar with your body. And then move the other direction. And then come back to center and come back to sit on your heels for a moment and just give your arms a little bit of a shake. If you need to do a little pull out for the wrists, feel free to do that. Shake out the hands. And we forgot to do this, or I forgot to do this. Make some hand circles here. Taking your wrists through a full range of motion. Going both directions. And then make fists with your hands and take some wrist circles again. And go both directions. And now open your hands up again and just kind of wiggle your fingers, sort of slowly wiggle your fingers as if you were being very dramatic and, I don't know, maybe gently playing the piano. Just feeling the movement of the fingers and how that goes all the way into the forearms. Then shake that out. Then keeping your upper arms out. They can be kind of out in front of you. They could be out to the side. See if you can make some movements with your elbows. And then go the other way. And then give that a good shake out. And then come back to where we were at before. Keeping your seat down on your heels. Lean down and bring your forearms in front of your knees with the elbows right there. And bring your right fingertips behind your right ear. And inhale, lift the right elbow up. And then exhale, bring the elbow down toward the inside of the left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Press that left forearm into the ground. So you kind of lift up and out of the shoulder as you bring the right elbow up and down. So do that a few more times. And then next time the elbow comes down, let them kind of come close to each other, perhaps touching, perhaps not. Then let the both forearms come down to the floor. Give both forearms a little press into the mat, the elbows, so you feel like you're lifting up your shoulder blades wide and a little bit in the back. Maybe you take a deep breath into that. And then exhale, but keep that feeling of strength in the shoulders. And now allow your right forearm to press into the floor, lifting yourself up a little bit. Bring the left fingertips to behind the left ear. Inhale, lift the elbow up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring the elbows together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Do a few more of these. And then next time the elbows come down, bring that forearm back down and raise yourself up onto your hands and knees again. And from here, keep your hips and knees stacked and start to extend your right arm in front of you and start to bend the left arm so your forehead will start to come down towards the floor and you'll start to feel those fingertips reaching and you'll feel that stretch, or you'll likely feel that stretch. If it feels good, maybe move a little bit from side to side. If it feels good to just hang out and breathe, that's cool too. And then lift yourself back up, back to all fours. And then start to walk your left hand forward and start to bend the right arm down, bringing the head down and reaching. Breathing, maybe adding a little wiggle or sway from side to side. And then coming back to all fours and sit back on to your heels for a moment. Give a little shake out of the arms, of the shoulders, and a nice breath. Come back to all fours and curl your toes under and pressing the knuckles of the palm into the floor, and press the toes and the ball of the feet into the floor as you start to lift your knees. And first, just lift your knees and then bring the knees down. And then press the balls of the feet, lift the knees, and then start to raise the hips up and back, coming to a downward dog. Now, the knees can be bent here. I apologize, I feel like the string is hitting my microphone. So the knees can stay deeply bent, and go ahead and bend and straighten the alternate legs, bringing more movement into the toes, into the ankles, the calves, maybe even bringing that movement into the upper body. Breathing, just exploring. And then begin to either walk the feet towards the hands or the hands towards the feet. And coming to bring your feet hip width apart. Let your torso rest against your thighs. Keep a little bend in the knees. And hold on to the opposite elbows and hang here in ragdoll. The knees can be bent. You can add a little sway. You can add a little nod yes, or a gentle shake no of the head to let go of tension held in the neck and the head. And release your hands and start to walk your hands up, keeping your knees bent. You might bend a little bit more as you start to come up, walking yourself up, rolling the spine up, coming to an upright standing position, letting your head come up last so the blood pressure can readjust. Give yourself a little shake out here. Shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs, whatever kind of silly movement. Sometimes silly movements can be the best movements because they can really release stress, little locked up bits, and just get those joints moving. And bring yourself to a comfortable standing position, probably about feet are about hip width, pelvis width apart. A little slight bend in the knees. Give yourself a little bounce through the knees. And then when you straighten up, don't straighten all the way up so that you lock the knees, just have that little bend. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel what it feels like to be standing upright. And then open your eyes and inhale, bring the palms together, and then exhale, release the hands. I'm going to be guiding some breath through this movement series that we're going to be doing. Feel free to follow along, but also feel free to breathe at your own pace, even if it doesn't match up to what I'm saying, okay? So let the arms come down. Inhale, bring the palms together in front of the chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring the palms up above your head. Maybe the palms touch. And then you can bring one hand, bring the left hand right now to your hip, and then exhale, lean over towards the left, reaching that right arm over. Inhale, lift the arms up, come back to center. Exhale, right hand to right hip, lean over to the right. Inhale, bring the arms up, come back to center. Exhale, step out and squat. Bend elbows, bend knees. Inhale to 5-pointed star. Arms are about shoulder height. Exhale, bring your bring your hand to the side of your leg, to the side of your left leg, and reach the right arm up. I'm sorry, I'm having side problems today, or language issues. Come back to center, and then lean over towards the right. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take your right hand down to your left foot, reaching the left fingertips up into the ceiling. Inhale, come back to 5-pointed star. Exhale, left hand to right foot. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, squat. Inhale, step the feet together. Exhale, bring the right hand to the right hip, lean to the right. Inhale, both arms come up, back to center. Exhale, lean to the right, or to the left, I'm sorry. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, hands to prayer position in front of the chest. Exhale, release. All right, reposition yourself. Shake things out if you like. We'll do that one more time. Fingers crossed it goes a little bit smoother on my end. All right, coming back to a comfortable standing position. Inhale, bring the hands together, prayer position in front of the chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, arms up, coming back to center. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, arms up to center. Exhale, step wide, squat down. Inhale to 5-pointed star, arms are shoulder height. Exhale, right arm to the side, left arm lifts, lean. Inhale to 5-pointed star. Exhale, lean towards the left. Inhale to 5-pointed star. Exhale, left hand to right foot. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, right hand to left foot. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, squat. Inhale, step together. Keep the feet about hip width apart. And exhale, lean towards the left. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, hands to prayer position in front of the chest. Exhale, release the hands down. Let your eyes close. You can change your position of the feet if that feels a little bit more comfortable. Let your eyes close and breathe. Turning to, if you need to face the short end of your mat. Inhale the arms up, And then exhale, take the arms out wide, have a little bend in the knees, and then bring your torso down. Keep a bend in the knees, bring the torso down, let it rest on the thighs. Your fingertips, your hands might come down to the floor. And then raise the hips, straightening the legs a little bit more, and then bending down. So it doesn't matter how straight your legs get, we're just bending the knees deeply and then lifting the hips. As you press the feet into the floor, lift those hips and then bend. And then lift and bend. Lift and bend. And this time when you bend the knees very deeply and come down into some sort of a squat. And this doesn't have to be anything fancy. Make your feet as close together or as wide apart as you like, and just find some movements here. You can perhaps maybe raise the torso up a little bit if that's working for you, or maybe keep the head down, keep the hips up, just move around in a little bit of a different way. I also invite turning the fingertips in towards you so you get a little forearm stretch. And you can, again, kind of alternate bending and straightening the arms here. We're just playing around. Any kind of movement that doesn't hurt is a good movement. And so turn your hands around and come down to all fours and extend your, here, I'll turn this way so you can see, extend your left leg out to the side with your sole of the foot onto the floor. And then start to lean back, taking your seat somewhat down towards your heels, and then come back forward. And then lean back and forward. Lean back and come forward. Lean back and forward. And the next time you come forward, so your wrists are beneath your hands, take your left arm out to the side and then thread the arm underneath, reaching down. Your head and shoulder don't have to touch. And then unwind, maybe just out to the side, maybe taking the fingertips more up towards the ceiling. Choose your own adventure here. Listen to your own body. And so thread and unwind a few times here. And the next time your arm comes up, then let the hand come down and bring your leg in. And then bring your right leg out to the side now. Pressing the sole of the foot into the floor. And start to sit back, not all the way, and then come forward. Lean back and come forward. And just do this a few times, noticing your breath, noticing where you're feeling it in your body. Are you feeling it? If for some reason you're not feeling something at all here, you might try pressing that foot into the floor a little bit more, and maybe even pressing your knee in, the one that's on the floor. All right, next time you come forward, lift your right arm out to the side and then thread it underneath, reaching towards the left, and then unwind, maybe just out to the side, maybe up towards the ceiling more. And then lean and reach, and do this a few times, going slowly enough that you can really feel. Not rushing things. There's no race. There's no competition. It's just you and your breath and your body. And the next time you have unwound, go ahead and bring that hand back down to the floor. Bring the knees back in. I'm just going to turn back to the side again, and then sit back on your heels again. Give a little arm, shoulder shake out. And check in with the neck. Move the head around a little bit. How's that feeling? From here, raise up onto your knees and step 1 foot forward. I don't know how well this is going to look. So I'll just say step 1 foot forward and press that front foot down into the floor and almost imagine that you are dragging it back towards you a bit. So as if you were sort of plugging your thigh bone into the hip a little bit, and feel the back hip pressing forward just slightly. And then lean, inhale, raise the arms up, and then exhale, arms come down, the hips come back just a little bit. Then inhale, maybe press forward just a little bit, and then exhale, straighten back up. Inhale, lift, and exhale, arms come down. Now start to take your hips back and start to straighten the front leg a little bit and keep a little bit of a bend in the knee, and lean down and feel perhaps the back of your legs start to come on. Check in with the upper body. Oftentimes our head and neck is doing something tense that we don't quite need it to be doing. Press the heel away, press the hip away as well. All right. Come back up, bring the knees back together. If you like, you can sit back on your seat, give your knees a little wiggle, and then come back up. You can also, I forgot to do this today, but you can put that cushion or blanket at any time under your knees for extra cushioning. Step that other leg forward and press the foot into the floor and imagine that you were starting to drag it back. So you start to feel activity. I felt this hip, the back hip, even kick on as I started to pull back. So with that feeling of engagement, inhale and slightly lean forward. You don't have to come very far to feel something. And then exhale back. Inhale, lift, come forward just a little, and exhale, arms down. Once more, inhale and exhale. Start to take the hips slightly back. Extend the leg, keep a little bend here. Bring your fingertips or hands down towards the floor on either side. Press the heel down and away, and the hip back behind you. Soften the neck. Inhale and exhale. Raise up. Bring the knees back together, or back at least by either sides. And then come down into a child's pose. with your arms either outstretched or by your sides. Take a moment here. One more breath. And then if your arms are out in front of you, start to walk them closer in towards your knees. And wherever you're at, start to walk yourself upright. And then take your hips over to one side and come back to a comfortable seated position. And lift your right arm in the air and lean to the left. Come back up. Lean to the right. Come back up. Do that once more. Come back to center. Interlace those hands again. Twist towards the right. Take a breath and then release your hands. And if you like, perhaps sink a little bit deeper into the twist. Inhale, come back to center and bring the hands back. Interlace the hands or the fingers in the other direction and then twist the upper body. Take a breath. And if you like, you can release the hands, perhaps moving a little deeper into the twist if you like. Inhale, come back to center and turn around and start to move yourself down onto the floor, onto your back. Keep your knees bent. Lift your right foot up and let the right ankle cross over the left thigh just above the knee. Lift your left foot up off the floor. This might be enough for you, but if you like, find a place for your hands behind the left leg. Inhale and exhale and draw the left knee gently a little closer towards the torso. And take a few breaths here. Maybe even gently moving the head from side to side to release tension. Inhale and exhale. Release the hands, release the feet down to the floor. Then lift the left foot and let the left ankle cross over the right thigh just above the knee. Raise the right foot up off the floor. This could be where you'd like to hang out, or perhaps you find a place for your hands behind the right leg. Inhale and exhale, gently letting the right knee and thigh come a little closer towards the torso. Inhale and exhale, release the hands, release the foot, but keep the knees closer in towards the chest. Curl up into a tight ball, bringing your forehead in towards your knees and rocking a little bit from side to side. Feel free, if it feels better, let the knees come out a little bit further. And then Gently release the upper body down to the floor. Extend the feet up towards the ceiling, and then slide one hand and the other hand beneath the hips so you have a little bit of a seat for the hips. And allow your legs to just gently dangle up towards the ceiling. Then bend your knees, rock your hips from side to side to release your hands, and then allow your feet to gently come down to the floor, and then slowly begin to slide your legs, your feet down to the mat, giving yourself a little repositioning of the shoulders, of the hips, the back of the head. And before we really come into stillness, bring your hands to the front of your hips and start to imagine the thigh bones and imagine the thighs turning in. So the big toes point a little bit more towards each other, and then rotating out so the heels are pointing towards each other. And so slowly just make a few rotations in and out. And you can just feel the hips moving here with your hands right on the front of the hips. Take a few breaths, let your arms relax on the floor. Your hands can just be, let your upper body relax. And then just let your hips relax, your legs relax. Feel free to stick a blanket or a rolled up towel or the cushion underneath your knees, or bend one or both of the knees as we rest here in this Shavasana, final relaxation pose. Let the arms be out by your sides, about 45 degrees out to the side with your palms facing up. And just take a few long, slow, deep breaths in and out, feeling yourself relaxing a little bit more on every exhale. Just letting yourself sink deeply into the mat, into the support that's there for you. Softening the belly with every exhale. And take your awareness to your facial muscles. Give everything a scrunch. Scrunch your eyes together, scrunch up your nose, scrunch up your mouth, tense it up. And then just let everything relax and release, smooth out. Moving the jaw around a little bit, bringing some space there. Then letting the teeth be slightly parted. And allow this feeling of relaxation to start moving down your body, down from the head into the neck, the shoulders, down your arms, into your hands and fingers. And bring the awareness back to the shoulders. And let the feeling flow down through your spine, through your whole torso, from the top to the middle, to the bottom, to the low back and hips. Then moving from your hips down your thighs to your knees, down the calves, and into the feet and toes. Feel the sensation that your entire body is completely relaxed. Now start to deepen your awareness, deepening your breathing. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, starting to bring a little bit more movement slowly into the body. Moving and stretching however might feel good. And moving onto your favorite side, rolling over onto your favorite side for just a moment. And then begin to gently press yourself into an upright seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your hands, stack your hands on top of each other over the center of your chest. And let's take 3 breaths together. Inhale and exhale. In and out. And once more, in and out. May we be free of suffering. May we have physical happiness. May we have mental happiness. May our hearts be at peace. You can allow your eyes to open, and you can release your hands down. And I just thank you so much for showing up today, taking some time to move your body, to breathe, to connect. And I hope to see you again next time. Have a wonderful day.